Carolyn, I'm not going to make it home from work until later tonight. You don't have to worry about making me dinner now either.
What? I already made dinner, though. Aren't you a little bit late telling me now?
I'm sorry. I'm well aware that recently I've been a bit late coming home. So I just thought you'd be aware of that as well.
But there are days where you come home earlier than normal, right? If you aren't going to tell me anything, I'm assuming you'll be home in time for dinner.
I said I was sorry. I'll make sure to eat it for breakfast tomorrow.
You'll make sure to wake up in time, right? You said all of that once before, but that time you slept in late and didn't have any time to eat it.
I had to come home super late that night, so I didn't have the energy to wake you early. You have to understand that I'm the one working.
And I'm working as well, Noah.
Part-time job. You do that from home anyway.
Well, I have to look after a 3-year-old boy while I work. I'm also taking care of chores, and so I think no matter how you try and view it, we're both equally busy. And also, I've noticed you haven't even been helping out with anything at home these days. It's been a month now and you haven't helped get Jack into the tub. You won't even help tuck him into bed or anything like that either.
I want to get home on time to be able to help you out.
I'm sure you do, but how much longer are you going to be this busy? You started getting this busy just after New Year's, right?
I think after just a bit longer, I'll start being able to come home sooner.
Really?
I'm serious. At the moment, I can see already that my workload is starting to decrease.
Well, that's good to hear and all. But for the time being, when you get a day off, can you at least spend some time with Jack playing? It's getting nice outside now, and it'd be perfect for the two of you to go outside and play. I just want you to start acting like a father for him.
When I get my days off, I like to use them to relax myself from all the stress I have.
And I'm in the same boat, Noah.
All right. I'll try my best to start playing with him over the weekends.
This is a promise, right? I've even started to hear Jack saying that he never gets to see his dad anymore. He already knows that there's somebody missing from his life. I don't even think you've seen him besides when he's sleeping these past few weeks, right?
Well, you have a point. Then I think this Saturday I'll hang out with Jack and take him wherever he'd like to go.
Really? Jack has really been wanting to go to the superhero performance. It's happening over the theme park this weekend. Do you think you can both go out there for the day?
All right, theme park, huh? I can make that work.
Thank goodness. I want him to know that his dad is still thinking about him.
And this is me showing you that I really am sorry for not being around the two of you for a little while now.
Well, you have really only been coming home to sleep, and that's it seems. And even when you do come home earlier, you just grab something to eat and then pass out on the couch. I've been sort of worried about Noah.
Sorry.
It's fine. I understand that your work has been pretty hectic for a little while now. But I bet he's going to be so happy to go with his dad to the theme park this weekend. Do you think I can go let him know about this right now?
Sure, since I won't be home till later anyway. And I have no idea if he'll even be awake tomorrow morning when I get up. Well, I'm going to get back to work now.
Alright, good luck with the rest of today's work. And make sure to make it home safe tonight. Noah, when are you going to be home tonight?
I think it won't be until midnight or so.
I'm not going to forgive you for what happened today.
Well, it couldn't be helped, Carolyn. I didn't expect for a customer to contact me out of nowhere today. They asked for me to come out with them, and I couldn't just say no to that.
Yet you said that you'd go to the theme park with Jack today, right? Jack was so looking forward to seeing that superhero performance.
But look, him and I were able to go out and see that movie he likes, right? I think that should have fixed things between us now.
I know that, but even getting you to go see that movie with him was difficult to achieve. And when you told him that you had work you needed to get done today, you didn't even apologize for leaving him. After that, he was crying for well over 2 hours.
For 2 hours? He has a lot of power to be able to last that long.
This isn't something to be laughing about, Noah. If you're not going to be able to keep your promise, then don't even make it in the first place.
I never planned to break that promise, okay? If it was a message or a call from one of my coworkers, I would have ignored it. But this time, it was from a customer, and my boss would never forgive me if I ignored their call. So please forgive me for this.
When you get home from work tonight, I want you to apologize to Jack, okay? And if you really aren't home until after midnight, then you apologize to him tomorrow morning.
Will do. I'll make sure to apologize to him.
I'll make sure from now on that as long as you're working this much to not ask you for anything else.
You really don't have to say things like that. But by the end of this month, I should no longer be busy with work.
Wait, this month?
Yeah. It seems we are finally coming to the end of this long busy streak. So, I promise that starting next month, I'll put more time and energy into raising Jack and helping with the house.
I see. So you'll finally be done with coming home super late.
Yep. Sorry for making you work this hard for so long. But next week, I will have to go on a small business trip.
Business trip? That normally doesn't happen to you, does it?
Well, this time the client I have to go see will show me around his offices. But once that's all taken care of, I'll no longer be this busy.
You say that, but won't this only lead up to you saying that work will start getting busy again the following month?
No, it won't. I'm telling you that my boss is well aware that he asks a lot out of all of us, including me this time. And so we should have a long time to rest after this month.
So you're saying there will no longer be any of this coming home late from work stuff, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Well then, once you're done with this month's work, I'm going to ask for you to do all sorts of things here with us at home.
And that's totally fine with me. Actually, I look forward to doing things with you.
And while I'm still talking with you, something came in the mail. From Tyler, I believe. Isn't he one of your friends from back in high school?
That's right. We had drinks with him last time he went back to my parents' house. And back then, he was telling me how he'd start working for a new company selling meat. So I think he sent us a package of the meat he sells.
Really? That's amazing and very kind of him. Then I guess tonight we'll have some of the steak that's in here for dinner.
I'll make sure to tell him thanks later.
Don't you think we should send something from us back to him as a thank you?
I don't think that'll be necessary. His wife is still in town here, and so I can just give something to her to take to him the next time she goes to visit.
I see then. But I'd like to send something to him from us at some point in the mail as well. I really love all these types of meats he sent to us, so I'm really happy.
And that's why I asked him to do this.
Really? But even if that's the case, I'd like him to get something in return for having this sent to us.
Well, you can just let it be. I'll let him know that you're happy because of what he did.
Well, since you helped get us this box of meat from Tyler, I guess I can forgive you a little for what happened today.
That'll only get half of me forgiven?
Of course it will, Noah. It takes time to regain one's trust after losing it. My forgiveness for you will all rely on how you handle things with work. And after work, so please do your best to show this family you still care. Noah, do you have your phone on you right now? Have you not seen that Jack's got into an accident? Why are you not answering my calls right now?
Stop trying to call me so many times. If I couldn't get to the first call, what makes you think I'll be able to answer any of the others?
Are you not worried about your son right now?
I told you that I'm on a business trip right now. You're being rude. You know that I won't be able to do anything from here, so stop trying to talk to me about him. Do you think that by calling me, things with Jack would just magically be fixed?
Business trip? Even though I just saw you walking with another woman right in front of my very eyes?
Huh?
Did you really think you could fool me by saying you went on a business trip when you're still in town? Well, you've been out with that other girl that I've never seen before. Jack got into a serious accident.
Huh?
I told you, right? Today I'd be going out with your mom and Jack. And your mom wanted to go and see an art exhibit in town today. So on our way there, Jack began to walk a bit ahead, and he told us that he saw you walking across the road. And when he did see you, he began to run across the road to see you while screaming, "Dad," and that's when a bike hit him.
No way. He must have mistaken someone else as me.
I know dang well he did not. I saw you, and so did your mom. And that girl you were walking with today, holding hands and all, was one of your classmates from high school, right? Your mom was kind enough to tell me about her. She's the wife of your friend Tyler.
Hey, I have an excuse for this.
If you would have hurried up and come to the hospital when this happened, I might have been willing to forgive you for something like this. I wanted to know that you care about your son. But the fact that you didn't even answer the phone when I kept calling you, and then telling me that you're on some sort of business trip, I think things are over with now.
Wait, hold on a second, Carolyn. I'm sorry, I'll start coming right now.
You don't have to come now. I already know very well how you feel about Jack and I. So don't even bother coming around the two of us ever again.
Carolyn, please. Can you please talk to me? I'm telling you that I really regret what's happened, and I want to talk to you about all of this.
Fine. I've also started to finally calm down about a lot of this.
Carolyn, I really messed up a lot this time. Jack is out of the hospital now, right?
Yeah, he banged his head up pretty badly, but after the exams and everything, he was let out with just some bandages around the cuts and scrapes. They even said he was lucky to make it out of that without a concussion.
I see. Thank God.
Well, I wouldn't be thanking him just yet. You told him that you were busy with work, yet you were actually just busy having an affair. And even worse, it was with one of your old friends' wives. How many people's lives do you plan to ruin before you're happy?
I told you already that we weren't having an affair or anything like that. Tyler's wife is also a really good friend to me and such. I already talked with Tyler about all of this.
You talked with him about you holding his wife's hand. What kind of relationship do you all have then?
How can you say this? We just talked about how life was back in high school and that we wanted to re-experience that. So her and I just started to casually walk with our hands held. There's nothing deep about any of this.
But to me, I still have no idea what's going on. Are there really people that just let their friends walk with hand in hand with their wife? Also, why would you go out of your way to make up going on a business trip for that?
I'm sorry for lying to you about that. But it turns out that Tyler's wife, her name is Emmy, by the way. Emmy doesn't really want to go all the way out to see Tyler while he's working for that new company. She says she really doesn't like the countryside, so she plans to just stay here in the city for now. Because she really has no choice but to go, she decided she'd hang out with me one last time before leaving. You don't seem to like that though, do you?
Course I don't. You can't even keep a single promise with your family. Yet when it comes to your friend's wife, you're just fine taking time off work to go out with her.
I'm sorry for making this so confusing. I really messed up by not telling the truth.
Have you talked with Tyler any more since Jack's accident?
Nope. I actually haven't heard anything from either of those two.
Well, that'll happen, won't it? I'm sure that Tyler's a bit suspicious now.
I did make sure to tell Tyler about what happened, though.
Hey, there are no more lies now, right?
Nothing else. I know that I wasn't honest about holding hands with one of my friends from high school and all, but that's it. You don't have to doubt me anymore. We are husband and wife, and so you should be able to trust me at least a little right now, right?
All right, then. I guess we're getting a divorce.
Why? I told you everything now. There's really nothing else I need to tell you.
I know there's even more. You're telling me that you haven't been having an affair, but you sure did. I know that you guys did things in bed. I know that you've been going to Emmy's house during the week when you've been telling me you had work. She's been living alone now for a little while with Tyler gone, so it works out perfectly for you.
I have not.
Hey, Noah, I've heard everything from Tyler already.
Huh?
Emmy happened to tell Tyler about everything. Seems she just couldn't keep her secret from him any longer.
She told him everything and he told you.
He told me everything, Noah. From when you both started to go out together to just a few days ago. Back when we all went out to drink while back in town at your parents this year, you ended up getting close with Emmy while Tyler was passed out and I went home to care for Jack. Both you and Emmy started to talk about how much you liked each other back in high school, right? I don't even know how to react to all of this. You ended up cheating on me with your friend from high school's wife.
I'm so sorry.
Are you finally going to accept the truth now?
But what Emmy and I had was just sort of a fling, and that's it. We planned to only do things together until she either moved in with him or until he came back to town again.
Listen, all of that isn't what I'm worried about right now.
I just hope you understand me and her playing around together doesn't mean that I forgot about the both of you.
During the past few months that you've been with her, I've had to pick up all the slack. How does leaving me at home all the time to both care for Jack and the house show how much you still care for us?
I didn't mean for all of that to happen, though.
Bull crap. You left me doing all the chores and cooking and caring for Jack, and you were never even here to make any memories with your boy. And on the weekends when you're supposed to have time off work, you make up some excuse saying you had to go back in Jess so you could go out with Emmy more. You even canceled the most important plan you had with Jack, and that was a trip to the theme park. What about all of that wasn't meant to happen? You just showed both me and your son that your secret girlfriend is more important than the two of us.
Sorry. I really screwed up this time. But none of that meant that I don't care about you and Jack. I don't want to have to leave you.
Well, if you could at least come to the hospital, if you would have at least showed Jack that you cared about him more than any other plan you had, then maybe I wouldn't want to divorce you. But you chose to continue to lie to me, and I cannot forgive that kind of crap from you any longer. You told me so many lies, even going as far as to break promises with Jack and I, all just to be with your high school friend's wife. I don't have any need for you as a husband, and Jack sure doesn't need you as his father.
Carolyn, I'm asking you to please rethink all of this. Just forgive me. Actually, you don't even have to forgive me, but please just don't divorce me. I promise that from now on, I'll only live for the two of you. Please believe me, Carolyn.
It already hurts me just knowing that you were doing all those things with a friend's wife. It hurts even more for me to have to say this, but Noah, you asked for all of this the moment you started making up lies to go out and sleep with her. I have no desire to be around you anymore. All I can see in my head now when I think of you is a man that's less family and more monster.
I'm so sorry, Carolyn. I'm really sorry. I promise to make things right. So please just stop thinking about getting a divorce.
I also hope that you would have never thought about divorce, and I even hope that you would have just thought about your son. But you went against both of those hopes of mine and ruined everything you had with Jack and I. I told you that it's hard to reform a trust with someone you love, right? Well, what makes you think I'm ever going to trust you with the amount of lies you made? Once I had made my choice very clear with Noah, we got a divorce. Of course, Noah cried for hours on end trying to get me to stay with him. But him going out with his high school friend's wife behind my back and all the lying about having to work lots of hours made that impossible for me. And when he told me he couldn't come to the hospital to see his own son because he was on a business trip, I lost all respect for him. At first, Noah wouldn't even try to sign the divorce papers. But when I had his mom there to tell him that she was not happy with everything he did, he had no other choice but to do as we said. Also, Tyler and Emmy ended up getting divorced. Of course, Tyler never knew that Noah was actually hanging out with his wife all that time. And so their friendship ended very quickly. And rumors about it spread like wildfire. Emmy tried to run away back to her parents' place, but they all had already heard about what happened and forced her out. With nowhere left to run, she now stays hidden inside her home here in town, where none of her old classmates can look down on her. Now, back to Noah and I, we still had to figure out the situation with Jack after the divorce. I decided that Jack would be staying with me for most of his childhood, and that Noah would need to pay child support for us. And every month, Jack's grandma could come and pick him up, and take him to see his dad for the day. But only with the supervision of Grandma. I hope that by letting Jack see his father once a month, their relationship will slowly and safely be able to heal. However, in my case, I have no plans of ever rekindling any sort of relation I had with Noah. I don't want to talk with him anymore so that he will continue to pay the child support and there will be no problems. However, if the day comes that he does decide to stop giving me the child support, I'll have no choice but to confront him again. And one other thing, after the divorce, Jack and I did move out of that house for good, and are now back living with my parents back at their house. He now has both his grandparents here all day to play with him, and so I can already see in his eyes that he's having way more fun here than he ever had back when it was just Noah and I. He hasn't even had much time to play anymore besides with me ever since Noah started lying to us. So this must all be a huge breath of fresh air for him. I'm sure that even though he's still so young, he'll have some sort of memories relating to all of this. I just hope that in time, I can make so many amazing memories with him, and that will cloud the horrible memories he has of the past few months. Also, with him now having more time to spend with my parents, this will give me time to start working harder on my job. I may have only had enough time to work 20 or so hours a week while having to also manage the house and Jack. But from now on, I'm going to try and work a lot more so that I can start saving money for Jack's future. Of course, there is the money I got from Noah in a settlement that I got with a divorce. But I want to make sure that we both have a comfortable future ahead of us. I may be asking a lot from my parents for a little while as we live with them. But I know that Jack will be loved by them far more than he was by his own dad.